crusher. Oh my god. I just spent a night. Dude, I went straight up like a rocket ship.
Hey guys, Mr. E here, and it is a crusher. That's what this thing is called, a crusher build today. You like my crusher skin, by the way, from the store? Honestly, looks pretty cool. Maybe not on this class so much, doesn't really fit the aesthetic here, but it's definitely looks dope as hell on the Zealot. But today we're using the crusher, definitely an S tier weapon on this class. Very, very strong, especially in synergy with everything he's got going on already. I made a build that I wanted to play to the sort of the powers of the crusher as much as possible, and this isn't it. I don't know why I had that one up. This is it. Okay, there we go. This is the crusher build that I wanted to showcase here today. So we are using the middle keystone terminus warrant. I have not made a build with this yet, and I really wanted to showcase how it can be used very effectively because it has some good buffs in there, even though it's a little bit harder to get the buffs out of it than, you know, the other keystones comparatively, but it can still be very good, and so I wanted to make a case of that. Now, if you heard me mention at the beginning that I think that Crusher is an S tier weapon on the Arbites, and you're wondering what I think about all the other weapons, well then you should totally be subscribed to the channel, because coming up this week, this is going to be tier list week, where we're going to tier list all the weapons in the game, ranged first, or melee first, then ranged. We're also going to tier list everything on the Arbites class, including all of his talents, which will take me like 2 hours. So if you are down for that sort of analytical content and love tier lists and all that bullshit, which I mean, everyone loves that shit, go ahead and subscribe. Cool. All right, thanks guys. We got the Crusher here. Crusher, again, like I said, sick weapon. Slaughterer stacks up to 40% damage and stagger on kill, up to, stacking 5 times. We want Unyielding and Carapace on here because those are the enemies that don't die in one hit to this bad boy. And then, of course, Skull Crusher. Skull Crusher is a very unique debuff for enemies, and I just crashed my fucking game. But I'm going to continue talking through it. So this is what you get, guys. While I reload, the Skull Crusher debuff on enemies, it makes them take more damage if you hit them with your weapon while they are staggered. So your first hit will stagger them. Thanks to the perk Concussive on the tree, this will mean that the enemy counts as staggered on your first melee hit, even if it doesn't technically stagger them, like with bosses, like I was about to demonstrate. As soon as you hit them the second time, now you've applied Skull Crusher to them, so they are taking 40% increased damage. But the secret is that you can actually apply this debuff more than once. So if you hit them again with the bat, they will take even more increased damage as the stagger increases. And that is very, very powerful. Now, for whatever reason, and perhaps someone who knows a little bit more about this game's inner workings than I, it doesn't actually stay on them for very long. I think once it expires one time, you have to wait a second. It kind of has like this refractory period, and then you can hit them and get the Skull Crusher debuff on them again. So hitting them sequentially like 4 times seems to have the best results, then back off for 5 seconds and then hit them 4 times again, which is generally how you kind of exchange blows with bosses anyway, but it's a very curious way that you can't like permanently keep them staggered and keep that debuff at its highest level. So that is what we're using for the melee weapon. For the range weapon, we are using the Exterminator Shotgun, the Mark III variant. Here we are. Look, I talked through the whole thing and you didn't even notice. The Mark III variant, as I'm going to swap back to it, is the Street Sweeper version, right? It's going to shoot a wide angle cone, and this allows us to hit many enemies with one shot, and this primarily is our way of stacking up our buffs for Terminus Warrant, which is that keystone at the bottom, which we'll talk about in a second here. But once you have 30 stacks in the purple down there, you are good to go. It's time to pull out the Crusher and activate Sicko mode, and you're going to get a bunch of buffs to how much damage, how much attack speed, how much rending the Crusher does. And that's the whole goal behind the Exterminator. In addition, it does some fairly solid damage on its own. Full bore and sustained fire are just free damage, honestly. You're very commonly hitting one enemy with all the pellets, especially when they're at close range. And then sustained fire is just free. That's just straight free damage. I mean, that's three of those shots that are doing super huge damage if you just keep firing. For Curios, I mean, you guys know the game at this point. Stamina, toughness, combat ability regen, stamina regen, and something else. Revive speed is good. Gunner DR is good. Pox bomber DR is good. Okay, here's the talent tree. extra attack speed up here, very easy to get. Then these classic 2 S tier nodes here. Walk it off, another S tier node. Coming down here for the Arbites grenade. We are using the Arbites grenade because we are Douglas yet again. And this is an amazing grenade to have 5 of at our disposal. You'll see me use lots of them in the gameplay footage, including in the gameplay footage at the start, where I used myself 1 country mile. Up here, concussive, allowing us to stagger, add stagger against bosses. Oh yeah, let me demonstrate that. Watch. We hit him once, hit him twice, look at the damage go up. Hit him 3, hit him 4, and see, it goes back down for some reason. But if I chill out for a second, let the stacks fall off. 1, 2, 3. Okay, see, there it is. Look at that, 4,600 damage we're hitting him for, right? And then it dips back down. So you can do it in bursts like that, but you can see that if you just block cancel and do those heavy 1 attacks over and over again, you can pump some serious boss damage with this bad boy. And that's without even Slaughterer being stacked. Okay, so yeah, Arbites grenades coming down here, breaking descents, concussive, yada yada yada. We got Lone Wolf. Extra attack speed is very valuable on the Crusher, and it's going to make us tougher, and it's going to give us extra grenades all the time. We're taking Break the Line with just Commendation from Commendation. This, we don't have enough points to go anywhere else, but if you did not take True Grit, if you're playing on a lower difficulty, come up here and take Targeted Brutality for more charges. But if you're playing on a higher difficulty, like Havoc, where it's super rippy, like 1 captain overhead just randomly, you know, just there's a ton of stuff that can just nick you and instantly kill you. Like it won't just down you, it'll instantly kill you, like a Crusher overhead or even a Mauler overhead, and this prevents that. This is like Zealot until death, but better in some regards, because you can make the fuck up multiple times and not die. Okay, so yeah, the charge is awesome. Make sure you're using it on cooldown because the cooldown is super short and it gives you extra damage and impact, which is gonna, you know, really synergize with everything we got going on here. We are taking every melee focus blessing in this whole area. Melee rending on staggered, melee damage on staggered, melee damage against first hit, melee damage after heavy, and True Grit for that defense. And then drive them back for cleave for 5 seconds, which is going to be great because when we push, that is our sweep attack. So we go sweep. Why did I cancel like that? Sweep, sweep. What the fuck? Sweep? Sweep, there we go. Jesus, I think I was fucking up holding my mouse. Sweep, and then hold down the attack, sweep, and then rinse and repeat. So that's pushing, and that gives us cleave, which is great, because again, that is our horde clear combo. Great. Jeez, alright, I'm having one of those days, guys. Getting through it. Okay, over here, let's go over here. Extra damage, we know what these 2 talents are at this point. These are sicko talents. These are disgusting. They should be in every single build forever. Coming down the middle here, Street Smarts into Terminus War, and here's where I have to explain how this works. I'm going to try to do it in less than a minute because I don't want this to take overly long. Once you have your 30 stacks of one or the other, you can see right now I have 30 stacks of ranged. So the next time that I pull out my ranged weapon and I start shooting, I'm going to get not only this buff, but this buff and this buff. So I'm going to get 25% crit damage and weak spot damage. I'm going to get the 15% fire rate, and I'm going to get the free car with the extra 15% range damage and 50% range cleave and 50% suppression until I run out of stacks. So I'm going to shoot all these stacks into the enemies, and this is how you should be playing this. You should be blasting, blasting, blasting until you have 30 melee stacks, because the melee is our primary damage dealer. And there you go. I can see I have 30 melee stacks, and now when I swap to that melee, I'm going to get 15% melee damage, 25% melee impact, 15% melee attack speed, and 15% rending, which obviously stacks with this 15% rending. So when we engage on Crushers, they don't have a very good time at all. They're like, uh-oh, what's happening to me? Am I about to get walloped? And the answer is yes, you're just dead. You know, that's even like not even completely buffed up damage. So that is the whole build, guys. It is a very, very strong melee build, like, you know, one of the strongest ways you could play it on this class, and I hope you enjoy it. Here's some gameplay footage of myself actually playing and not getting blown the fuck off of map with First Duo Guardsman. And again, I am sorry, but this footage, for whatever reason, has me cut out of it. Maybe you like that better, but it's just First Tour's side of the conversation, so that'll be a little bit weird, but I promise that this is the last video where you'll hear that annoying thing in there. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and remember, glaze only in the comments. Thanks, bye.
You don't even look like an RBDs of that. God, this map's frames. It's always this map for some reason. There's also smoke groups saying any issues with this map too.
Oh yeah. We're gonna fit his hand. There are definitely grenade launchers they could use if they're not the wrong one. I just got back. I wasted them all and just rebuy 5 more now. You bring that here. Oh yeah. I've been after that for a while in this game. Pretty. I mean, I like the exterminators talking. Get yoinked. I had 0. I mean, I regenerate them, but you know, point. I like the one wolf a lot.
Ow. Very unfortunate time to get grabbed by a mutant.
Watching like endless scenes of everybody trying to play for Arbites and Havoc is pretty funny though. Getting a native across the street. Oh, got him. 10-10. I had a guy super chat me $25 once for me to say Kobe when I threw a grenade. Yep. We yell Kobe. I mean, like, honestly, I consider a lot of people would ask you to stay on the internet for $20 for the game. That's not true at all. Never said any nuts shit in like in years of YouTube and like hundreds of hours of live streams. I'm on the show. I have never said anything. I've never said anything like that. It was all of it edited down. Mentality. Yeah. I'm too busy missing my revolver shots. I'm over weapons, period. It's hilarious that this weapon gets this game has such interesting weapons. Yeah, I guess, but I mean, it's 40k, it's very easy to pull them before. I mean, they have some pretty special effects, like really, I mean, that's true, but I'm thinking more like it's a pretty easy jumping off point for like, okay, this weapon does something very unique compared to the other ones, like a special ability. At least. Like the boss weapons in the Souls games. That's true, it doesn't matter what the class it's on. Funny how little ammo is a problem in this mode. No, I'm saying it's funny how little of a problem it actually is.
What's that? Frank. They're all dead. That one, that's just, yeah, that's Oh, it's still joint speed? No! It was right a corner, I swear to God. It was a nasty shot they did. That's a real screen. Good enough. Yeah, that's what happened to me.